Hello, hello, people. It is Wednesday. Are we Wednesday today? I think we're Wednesday. Today I will be chatting with Najla, the Ottawa glam girl. She's going to talk to me about how her industry is helping women with so much more. We're going to be discussing her thoughts on COVID now, and we will be talking about normal. Because what is normal, anyways? Was there ever a normal before any of this for us to keep saying that it's going to be the new normal? I don't think we ever really had an old one. Anyways, I'm going to welcome Najla in and see if this works. Let's hope it does. Prayers that this goes through. Hi, friends. It's looking like a fun group of people. Hi, pretty girl.
Hey girl,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can everybody see and hear us? I think so. You got some lines going across your face. Oh, there, it's gone. No, it's back. How are you? Can you hear me, Najla?
I'm good. I can't hear you as well as I should.
Oh, good. There's always some sort of technical difficulty. No shit.
Okay, hold on just a second. I'm just trying to turn things up a little bit.
We're working.
Okay, you should be good. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Okay.
So, Najla, tell us, what have you been up to?
What have I not been up to?
Seriously.
I've been really busy, obviously. Like with the kids and stuff. So last time I was here, well, the first time I was with you, I was losing it. And then the second time I was with you, I really had found good things in what was
Miss
going
Sun-
on.
you were,
What?
you were Miss Sunshine the second time.
Yeah, and that hasn't really changed. I've honestly really been, I feel bad saying this because I know a lot of people are struggling in different ways with, their businesses and stuff, but I've really I've just found peace in everything going on, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So because I know that it's not going to last, so I'm enjoying what it is and taking it for what it is, but I know it's not going to last. So I'm just kind of going with the flow for now until things start to gradually change, which they are.
Yeah.
I'm in Quebec, so
But
it's
thank you.
expected that my kids are supposed to go back to school and daycare on Monday, which is not going to happen for me. But stores are reopening. A lot is going to change. A little bit of fear and anxiety is coming back, like that fear and anxiety from like 6 weeks ago. Sorry, I don't even know why. I see the lines too, but so a lot of that's coming back because I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if there's an expectation of me.
Right, right. Najla, are you worried at all about a second wave?
Yeah, I'm worried about a second wave because it's like we've just kind of adjusted. Some of us haven't, but I've just kind of adjusted to life this way. I feel like I've sacrificed a lot to make the best decisions and do the right thing. And then we're going to adapt to something different. And then a second wave just means a lot of that fear and anxiety and panic coming back. And I didn't enjoy that phase for myself or for the people around me.
Right.
So yeah, I'm more afraid for that.
I hear you. I think it's hard because you feel like the coast is almost clear, right? And then, but there's still a lot of unknowns. And I know I've spoken to a lot of people since the last time that we've spoken, the second time that we've spoken, and now that we've been sort of locked up for the amount of time that we have been, a lot of people are viewing the situation a little bit differently. They're going and doing a little more in-depth research. They're trying to figure out like, okay, sure, there's a virus, but is there something else that I need to worry about or consider? Has your mind gone there at all?
Yeah, it has. And, I try not to think about all the possibilities and all the things because, there was a point that I was thinking, like, why? are they trying to lock us up? Who is they, first of all, and why are they trying to lock us up? Who? And I just felt like there was something going on. Like I was like, and I don't know if I'm not convinced of that anymore. I think I've kind of just like shut it off because at the end of the day, the only thing that I know is that there is something that exists. I have a role to play, and I either need to do that or I need to be subject to the consequences. And, I have kids and stuff. You can't let your mind there go, you can't let your mind go there too much because it's also very controversial. There are people who are like, no, you're crazy. And then there are people who are like, no, but there's something. And I do believe there's more to all of this than this. And I think a lot of people, after, some time now, I think everybody's kind of opening up their mind a little bit to it because when the panic kind of goes away a little bit, I feel like you're more accepting of the fact that there may be something else going on. Um, what do you want me to say about that? I'm not, I really enjoyed when Una spoke and I really enjoyed when Tanya spoke, but I'm not as educated as they are, in terms of, what could be happening, what the outcome could be of it. I know what I know, and when it comes to what's in the media and when it comes to what's on the news and when it comes to what's being shared, I have to be honest, I'm fairly ignorant when it comes to those things, and I choose to be. So before COVID, I actually never watched the news. Like if I knew something that was going on in the world, I probably saw it on social media because I run my business on social media. I don't watch the news. I'm extremely sensitive, and the things that happen in the world, especially, tragedy, because there's a lot of good things that happen in the world. They're just not as advertised. And when tragedy strikes or when bad things happen, it weighs on me really, really heavily. It changes my mood. It changes my thoughts. I don't sleep as well. So I've really just been focused on good things, and I've been focused on my business and my faith and my family, and I'm trying to shut everything out that isn't that.
And I think that's a fair way to handle it because at the end of the day, like you said, you do have kids and a family to take care of. You have a job, you have a business. You can't just be, consumed with what it is or the what ifs of what it could be. You have to be focused on the things that you're doing and you have to be immersed in that. So I get it and I can respect it. I feel like my thinking has sort of evolved to be similar. It could be anything, but regardless of that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change that we are where we are and we have to find a life within that situation because realistically speaking, there isn't much that you and I know some people will disagree with that, but the way I look at it is there isn't much, we can't do a whole lot, you know? It's much bigger than us. It's on a world level. So what's a hairstylist and, a makeup artist gonna do to change anything? We can help the
We're
people.
gonna make people look good.
Like if we're gonna go out, we're gonna do it looking. Let me tell you, I come down here every night and I'm like readjusting my lamp right now because girl, my skin is looking dehydrated. I am feeling parched. Najla, I saw this whole skin routine on your story today, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I need some of that like hydration. I can't go get Botox right now, Najla. So what are you doing to make women feel beautiful right now? Because help us out.
Listen, I could talk about that for hours. Here's what I know. And there's like it's the funny side, but it's very serious for me how my business keeps me really grounded and focused. And I'm noticing a huge shift in women coming forward and wanting to realize their own business. This whole COVID thing, like it's really given women time. It's given them, I think, a different perspective where the things, like the little things that they used to fear, are now seem very minimal in comparison to the feelings and thoughts they've been going through in the last few weeks. And, like I had 75 women join my team last month alone.
That's
And I know, yeah, and I believe truly that it's a lot of it is that women right now, and men, but I'm very woman focused business. They want to feel good. They want to do good. They want to be excited. They want to be connected. They want a sisterhood. And at this time, unfortunately, a lot of them kind of need to make money. So women that were not the primary providers in their households are now looking for ways to provide in their households. And I think that is the most incredible thing ever, because I think there is nothing more amazing than women with drive and ambition. And I'm seeing it, and I'm leading these women, and I'm humbled, and I'm so grateful for it, because it's everything that I stand for. You know, it's women empowerment, it's a sisterhood, but it's, and a lot of people will see me and think to like, she sells makeup. Okay, but it's so much more than makeup, because these steps that women are taking to realizing their journey, these are really significant changes in their life. It's finding confidence, it's overcoming fear, it's having courage, just like anybody starting a business, you know. And these are the fundamentals of success, you know, building your business and believing in something, and then seeing how far you can go and realizing that you have an unlimited amount of potential. It's been, honestly, the last 8 weeks has been like the most exciting and amazing for me. And, you know, a lot of people will say to me on my social media, like, how do you have time to get ready? Or why do you have makeup on? Or why are you dressed? Or it's my livelihood. Like I have a reason to get up and go live. I have a reason to, you know, be excited about something because I'm a part of that. And so I guess that's why I'm so passionate about it, especially right now. I'm grateful for it, especially right now, because other women are realizing that too. Like, they're not focused on panic anymore. They're not focused on what they're going to do in 2 months time. They're focused on, what can I do right now? Like, this is so exciting. And, you know, so it's been exciting, and it's been great. And nobody's life is perfect. I still have my struggles. I have my days where, you know, some days are a little harder than others. But I don't worry as much. Like, I think I just realized that I have to live for the moment, live for what I'm given today, because like, I don't know what tomorrow holds. And like you said, like, not what difference can I make? I can only make the difference that I can make. So I'm doing that. Everything else, like, I'm not saying it's hopeless, but I mean, like,
It's not even that. It's a matter of, you have to look at the situation and say to yourself, okay, so we're here. I got to make the most of the fact that we're here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So it's not wrong for you to find something that you're excited about and you're passionate about in a shitty time. You can't, you know, just as much as you want to empathize with the people who are struggling right now, all you can do is motivate and inspire them to the best of your ability. And if at that point they're still not budging, that's sort of their own character trait that they need to deal with and work with on their own. You are making movement though, and you are inspiring women. And I was talking to you about this earlier, and I don't want to put like a negative twist on it, but it reminded me of something, this entire situation, and that don't rush challenge that everybody's been doing with like the makeup brushes and stuff. And 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 I was saying this to my husband. I said it reminds me of history class, and when we learned about the wars in the past. And I'm not comparing COVID to a war. Who knows? It could be, but I'm not comparing it to that. But there was always some kind of campaign for women to look good, to feel good, to stay motivated and positive during those times. It's been around in history for these types of things to sort of pop up when you're in this massive, you know, struggle. So it's not wrong for you to be excited and be proud of the fact that you have built this team. And in a pandemic, like, to me, that's amazing that you did something productive with this time. I know we have friends that are making masks, and we have friends that are doing whatever they can right now. People's minds are moving. Some are moving to sort of figure the situation out. I'm not a scientist. That's not my goal right now. I know people, so I'm going to work with people. You know makeup, you're going to work with makeup, you know, and I think that's a really beautiful thing that you've done. They keep saying, and you keep hearing people talk about, you know, going back to normal, or there's going to be a new normal. Was there ever a normal to begin with in your mind?
I think everybody's lifestyle is different. And I'm going to speak in all honesty when I say that I'm more scared about going back to my previous life than I am about discovering a new way. And the reason why is because I've had a lot of time to reflect. I've had a lot of time to think about how my time was being spent. You know, we're spending so much time in the house and finding things to do that I often think about what would I be doing today if it was before COVID? And the answer is always something. And it's always something. I love being busy. I love like I live for being busy. I always take on more than I can handle, but I always get it done because I work well under pressure. I enjoy that. I really love it. But it was the wrong kind of stuff. It was the wrong kind of pressure. And, you know, just like all the rushing and all the, you know, my kids were never, and maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's just my parenting and something that I have to work on. But at least it's something that I realize I have to work on because this happened. But everything was so rushed, you know, from when they wake up in the morning to get ready, let's go. I have to go to work. I have to get to work on time. You have to get to school. Okay, you have to catch the bus. You can't miss the bus. And then if you miss the bus, I have to drive you. And you know, and then it's like, okay, I get them there, and then I got to rush to get to work, and then I got to rush to get to a meeting, and then I got to rush to go to the other building, and I have to go to the other building for interviews, and I'm there for a meeting, and I have to meet, come home, pick up the kids, get home. Okay, guys, you only have 30 minutes to play because mommy's going to make dinner. I'm going to rush to make dinner. We sit down. You know, we hardly ever actually sat at our dining table as a family. We would sit at the island. Me and Kareem would stand up. The kids would eat. We'd be like, okay, guys, let's go, let's go. Quick walk around the block, but only around the block because you got to get home. We got to take a bath. We got to get to bed. Bedtime story. Oh my God, when I think about it now, I think to myself that was I a terrible parent for putting, I'm giving my child anxiety. You know what I mean? I have anxiety thinking about how it was, and I never stopped to actually think because that's life. You have to go to work, you have to provide, money makes the world go around, and it's like now we sit down at every meal all together as a family. We pray before we eat. Everything is slow-mo. Everything is slow-mo. We're done. Okay, guys, get your shoes on. Going for a walk. Who cares how long it takes? We have nowhere to go and nothing to do. No problem. You know, it's so beautiful. It's so peaceful. And, you know, my kids are actually like, Brielle told me one day we ate at the island. Okay, in all this 8 weeks, one day we ate at the island. And she's like, but I don't understand. Why aren't we sitting down and eating as a family?
Yeah.
You know? So that tells me that that this became a new normal for us, and she missed it in the one day that she didn't have it. Things have been slowed down so much, and oh God, Tara, I feel bad feeling this way because I have friends in business who need to get back to their livelihood. But honestly, like my heart is so full of like the things we've been able to accomplish together. Brielle is riding on 2 wheels on her bike. Callie's discovering how to ride a bike. Like these are just things that can only be accomplished if you just slow it down and stop rushing and putting pressure on people and on kids too. They feel it and they're not feeling it anymore. And, you know, I feel they're happier. You know what? They're learning quicker. They're learning quicker. And I'm noticing it. Callie's picking up everything really quick. And I just feel like it's because I'm just giving them time. Like time is so precious. And, you know, like, yeah, so I hope that I've learned a really valuable lesson. I hope that a lot of people have. And I think that there are a lot of people who were putting their jobs first, and I understand why. I understand they have to provide, but relationships struggle when that happens. Children struggle when that happens, and people in general struggle. And you know, then there's more time out of the house means more time distracted, means I'm not, listen, I'm not saying anything, but you know, you're spending time at work. Maybe people are having affairs at work. Maybe it's cool that he spends some time at with his wife at home. Maybe they will rekindle their love and get to know each other again. You know, like you don't know what people's situations are. Then there's the other side of it that makes me really, really sad, and breaks my heart that it's the opposite for some people. They enjoy when their significant other is out of the house because they have a break from emotional abuse, from physical abuse, from mental abuse. Same thing for kids. So while I'm not going to send my child to school on Monday, I'm not opposed to them opening the schools because and this is a conversation you and I have had already, I believe that there are children safer at risk of a very strong strain of flu than they are in their own homes, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that's not even like, I know when you think of abuse, we are constantly thinking of that like physical, brutal type of abuse, but abuse transcends to every aspect. It can be, you know, emotional abuse. It can, silence is a form of abuse. And I think that there's, the sad part to me is not the obvious abuse that's happening, but it's the hundreds of thousands of women that are struggling through an abuse that they don't even realize is abuse. They're sitting in their homes being ignored by their spouses, not spoken to for days on end, which is a form of abuse. They're um, anything can be constituted as abuse that the regular mind wouldn't have considered. And when you understand that, it makes it even more sad because it broadens the amount of people that are suffering and suffering in silence.
Yeah.
And it's a really fine line, right? And it's very sad to see it happen. But like you said, there's not really a whole lot that can be done. I know you have done something though with your makeup, and if you want to tell everybody about the campaign.
Yeah, well, it was just kind of an idea to, so it was on my mind at the time that I did it. It was on my mind how, upset I was that all of this is happening. So I have the curse of taking on people's situations and problems. And I literally wasn't sleeping because sometimes I would just lay in bed and I would cry at how people are trapped. Like women are trapped, children are trapped. Women are trapped because their children are, because of their children, and that's how much a mother loves their child, is that she will undergo any type of abuse to keep her child with two parents or keep her child somewhat in a home, whatever. So I just kind of I created a TikTok video, and I just initially when you see me and I'm holding my mascara, you're probably thinking to yourself like, oh, she's gonna sell mascara. But it wasn't about that at all. But it was a way. So my business in makeup and my company have always been my means of reaching women in different ways, reaching women to empower them, to encourage them, to lead them, to mentor them, to instill confidence in them. And so I always said to myself, like, I always find a way that my business can do better, that can do something good, because it's not about the makeup all the time, right? It's not about the makeup. It's about what the makeup can do, what the makeup does, and what that form of confidence means. So, I did a silent, I put on some women empowering music. That's my girl. That's like one of my songs. And so I held a mascara and it was completely silent because, or just music, sorry. And I wasn't speaking because, if this woman's laying in bed, scrolling through her phone and stops on the video, she can at least read the text. And the text was basically as simple as, if you're suffering from abuse, message me to ask me if I have an extra mascara, and I will get your shipping address, and I'll contact the local authorities and let them know to go check out a situation. And that was just a way. And I was hoping that so many other people would see it, so that, because I've had TikTok videos go viral. I was hoping that would be one of them. I haven't even been on TikTok. I've been so busy, but I was hoping the more people that see it, the better, because I wanted everybody to recreate it. I wanted everybody to do one of their own so that so many more people see it. And I mean, what's the harm? What's the harm in contacting, somebody in the local sheriff's department in Arizona close to this person's house and say, hey, can you check this out? Not a big deal. Like, they can't be that busy right now. Everybody's home, so just go check it out. They have no idea how they got there and stuff. And so one girl had messaged me, but she never followed up with me, but what happens after I feel I do my part, is not in my hands anymore. I felt like I had a way to do something positive. I give that, and then if a woman backs out, let's say she sees it and she feels motivated or inspired to actually send her address or whatever, great. But if she backs out and decides, this could be worse than what it is, then you know uh,
Well, and I think it's really beautiful and inspiring that you did something at all, because that was something within your control, right? And you said, I want to do something. What can I do in this situation? And that's huge. It could have gone, you don't know. I mean, I don't know how TikTok works, but I remember I saw it on Instagram and shared it there. And I think that even if it's just one person, or, you know, even between friends, where a friend could have seen that, maybe not messaged you, but been in that situation and sent it to another friend and said, hey, this is a really good idea. You know my situation. If I ever say this, you know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, you might not see the ripple, but it could very well still be happening. So I think it's beautiful. Um, have you, you said it was only one person that contacted you, so nobody else followed up then. Um, Before that, were you thinking of doing anything else with the makeup too? I know you were saying your company they do donations for abuse.
yeah. So yeah, we have a foundation. So Unique actually has a foundation. So part of the reason why I love my company, so again, it's more than just makeup, but the values and their mission are really, really special. And I feel that that's really important when choosing, like when I chose to work with them, just because it makes a difference. So in every order that we place, we have the choice or the option to round up our order to the nearest dollar, okay, which could be 50 cents, but 50 cents among a million presenters is a whole lot of money. And it would go to the Unique Foundation. You can also choose to donate at any point in time. But basically, they have something called the Safe Haven Retreat, which is a retreat that women can go to heal from sexual abuse. And they actually had a campaign, No More 1 in 4, because it was determined by statistics or whatever that 1 in 4 women would be sexually abused in their lifetime. And so it's a place for healing. It's a place for therapy. It's completely free. You can sign up for it, and then they choose people. They fly them out to Utah. They go to the retreat. They take care of them there. And so it's huge, because we often feel, again, like we can't make a difference. And sometimes I think to myself, is my 20 cents really going to make a difference? But guess what? It's better than nothing, and it's something. And luckily, like, I'm very busy in my business. So it's like I always have an opportunity to do something good while I'm doing something good. It's really, really good. So anybody who's a part of anything that has the opportunity to do something even like so small that they think will not make a difference should definitely do that. So I'm just talking to whoever's watching this. There's all sorts of ways you can do things, like showing up to your local food bank is something that's, not a huge deal a lot of the time, but makes a big difference, because everybody needs somebody to advocate for them. Everybody needs somebody to, stand up or give a little. And so these are just the ways that we can contribute, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and it's nice that they're doing something at all. I know there's not a lot of companies that do that. Some have just slowly started picking things up, but it's nice that you found one that you're passionate about, that you can use in multiple ways to help women. I think it's awesome.
Thank
Natalie,
you.
you were saying how the schools are opening up. You're not gonna send them. Are you are you concerned with sending them come September at all?
Yes. Like, so my situation's a little bit special, maybe, or not really, but so Brielle, my oldest, kindergarten, I feel a little sad that she didn't get the full kindergarten experience. She didn't get that full year, but at the same time, so I know it's weird to say this, but like my God works in ways. So this was like a blessing in disguise, because we're changing her schools.
Right.
So technically, she's only had 6 months in the class with the friends and that experience. And these past 2 months have caused her to kind of like disconnect the little friends she made. I feel terrible saying it this way, but it's given her a chance to kind of disconnect, and she doesn't really talk about them much anymore, which is, it kind of is better this way because I don't want to send her back. Like if I send her back and she reconnects and then I switch her schools, she's gonna miss them so much. She's gonna be so sad about it. I didn't want to do that. So she's had 2 months to disconnect. In September, she starts a new school and she starts grade 1.
Right.
I really want things to go well, and I want her to have a full school year. I want her to learn. Grade 1 is when you start homework and you start learning a little more. Kindergarten's kind of a free for all. A lot of the times they want to see how you're developing and your kind of motor skills, how you've developed from kindergarten, from daycare to kindergarten. But now grade 1's a little more serious, and I'm really praying that like this is all wrong. The second wave thing is just total BS because. And that's just selfish of me because I want my daughter to have a normalcy and I want her to, relate education to something fun and positive. But I feel like kindergarten was kind of weird. It was like, oh, you gave me something positive and then it got taken away. I don't know. This is all like up here. I'm crazy sometimes. But anyways, so yeah, I'm still afraid to send her to school in September, but I want to so bad, And you know what? Let's be honest. I want to send both of my kids back to wherever they can go next week, but not at the expense of their health, right? Like, let's be honest. I have work to do. I'm still working. I work in the government. I'm still working from home. I'm still putting in my hours in between all of the other things that I do. I still have a house to clean. I still have things to do. Kareem's working all day. Like it's tough. So yeah, like I'm still scared to send them in September, but again, how long can I not send my kids to school? And the problem is, I think, like a big thing I struggle with is like I hate being the odd person out, and at a table of moms, when they're all like, oh my God, this is totally fine. I hate being the odd one out. I hate being that person, and I will if I need to be. And I think that came out more when I had kids, because now it's like, okay, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in, whether you think I'm cray cray or not doesn't make a difference. But I just hate that. I hate that I have to be that person, and I feel like, and I'm gonna bring something up because it kind of relates to this. But back in November, I got an email from Brielle's teacher saying, "Well, we're gonna teach these kids sexual education, and here's what they're gonna be learning." Yeah, do you remember that?
I remember that.
Okay, and here's what they're gonna be learning, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You're not teaching my child." Like the questions were really like why does mommy bleed, what is a penis for? I'm like, wow, I can't wrap my head around this. This is not happening. I met with the teacher and I met with the principal, and it was explained to me that we're trying to normalize these things. So by talking about it at a really young age and giving them the details that they're not really concerned about right now, that is going to help normalize the conversation. Okay, the word penis, the word sex, or whatever. And I stop. I'm like, stop. When spring comes, because they were going to start those conversations in the spring, I said, when spring comes, you're going to call me and I'm going to come pick up my child and I'm going to bring her to the local cafe and I'm going to talk to her about how babies are made on my own terms. Okay. Like a mama and daddy love each other. They pray for a baby and whoa, miracles happen. Like that's as much as a 5-year-old needs to know. I wasn't comfortable with it. And I feel like this could potentially be the same thing. Like it's so normal now that COVID is a risk, So what can we do about it? Just send them. We just have to take a chance. And maybe it's going to come to that for all of us. Things are opening now that puts us more at risk, obviously, because people are starting to feel a little more comfortable to go out and about. These people may have symptoms. They may not know they have symptoms. We're at risk now more because people are coming out now. So while I don't want to stay home for the rest of my life, but what are we going to do? Eventually we have to go out, and it's going to be a risk that we're all going to have to take. And if we get sick, hopefully we're healthy enough to recover. But what about you? Are you sending your kids to school in September?
I mean, I don't know if I have a choice. For one, I'm a pretty crappy homeschool teacher, so there's that.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous. Yeah, I can't say that I'm gonna do it confidently. You can't tell me there's this big scary monster outside of my door, and then, you know, keep the monster there, but say, you now have magical powers, you can walk through it. You know what I mean? I'm not, I'm not comfortable. I don't know that I'll be comfortable. I was actually on Facebook earlier, and I saw somebody posted the guidelines for what they're doing in Quebec, in the Quebec classrooms, and how they're going to run it. No library, no arts and crafts, but they'll tell you they can do it at home. And I was like, okay, that in itself was starting to give me anxiety, because I'm like, she's going to go back to school and it's not going to be school. You know what I
No.
mean? It's just going to be scattered desks in a classroom, and, you know, you can't run around outside with your friends, or you can, but you got to stay away from them. You're not going to be allowed on the play structure that's in the yard. You, it's just a very hostile environment that they're going to now have to go to, and I don't know how that's going to affect them mentally. They have a
The
memory of
teachers,
school.
you know, the teachers feel the same way. So Brielle's teacher checks up with me or calls Brielle every week, every Thursday. So last week when I spoke to her, she's like, "How are you guys feeling? Are you going to send Brielle to school?" And I said, "No." And I said, "What about you? How are you feeling about it?" And she's like, "Honestly, I'm really scared and I don't want to be back." Her husband is older than her by a lot. I think he's 70. My husband is 70. I'm putting myself at risk. I'm putting him at risk. The children are not going to be able to play. They're not going to be able to touch the toys. They're going to have to be distanced. They're going to have to follow strict rules. It's not going to be regular school. And she was like, there's nothing that I can do about it. So, and that's her livelihood. She's been teaching for however long. Are you ready to lose your job? Like, and that's what I mean about normalizing it. And we're not going to be given a choice for much longer. You know, the government is going to cough up money from God knows where that we're going to be taxed on later, which is fine. But for how long? They're not going to be able to do that. Even if COVID was like this serious and this contagious and there was this many cases for a year, 2 years, like what can happen? Like our whole world is just going to crash. Eventually, they're going to open up the doors, they're going to flood the streets, and basically it's like Hunger Games, right? Like whoever survives, survives. Like maybe the best man, like make it to,
I know.
you know, retirement. Like I don't really know. So, you know, I don't know. My fear is that a lot of things are normalized that shouldn't be. And I think that this is one of them. And I think that it is okay to have a little bit of fear, a little bit of healthy fear about what's going on, because people that don't fear any of this at all, like that would concern me too. So you have to like, I feel like you have to be kind of somewhat in the middle. And I don't know where I stand on that spectrum, but I do know there's something. I'm doing whatever I can about it. Eventually, I'm not going to be given a choice. I'm more fearful of that. I'm more fearful of when that time comes. And then, and I don't even want to talk about this because this is not my conversation to have, if somebody knows it better. But then there are going to be vaccines, right? And then here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm fearful of. Although I know I don't need to fear because I'm faithful, there's still a part of me that's like, Najla, it's gonna come down to, what if it comes down to, Miss, your daughter can't come to class, can't come into school unless she has that vaccine because she's putting other kids at risk.
Yeah.
And listen, I know there's all types of vaccines and all types of opinions on it, so that's why I hate talking about this kind of stuff. But if we're just talking about the COVID vaccine in general, or only specifically, what then? What then?
Well,
If schools say that children can only enter the classroom if they've had that vaccine, what then?
so, and that's my thing. Like, wait, I'm not. My kids are vaccinated. This was my choice. I made it years ago. Was I nervous about vaccinating my children? I would be lying if I said no. I was very nervous. Um,
Same.
I weighed out my pros and cons. I did what I felt was best for me and my family with hesitation, and I still think about it multiple times throughout my day. I think to little issues that my kids have now, and I wonder if there's a relation. Is there? Isn't there? I don't know. There's articles proving and disproving that it could be and it can't be. That's one thing. Flu shots, I'll be honest with you, we don't get. That is something I'm very adamant on. Not because of anything, because we've been fine so far, knock on wood, and I don't feel like it's something that we as a family care to do. If people get it, that's on them, that's cool. COVID vaccine, with it being as new as it's going to be, it terrifies me. It terrifies me because I think that anything developed that quickly, first of all, I will not be of the first 100 people to get it. To be honest with you, I want to see what those first 100 people look like 5 years from now. Because I guarantee you, they might have like an arm growing out of their forehead. We don't know. I will not be.
But you might not have 5 years. So what then?
Well, and that's what scares me is when people talk about stripping, and Tanya brought it up, and Una brought it up about taking your freedom away. Isolating me, I don't feel like we've taken my freedom away. I can still get outside of my house. I can still go do the necessities, what I need to do. That didn't bother me. It really didn't. And maybe they'll tell me, wake up, you're wrong. It should bother you. And maybe it should bother me more. But right now, I'm looking at it as there's a virus outside. I'm staying home. I'm protecting myself and my family. But to tell me that something is mandatory, the vaccine, that raises questions. That scares me a little bit because, again, it's too new. This entire situation is too new. They're saying that they're figuring it out real time. Well, first, if you have it, you're immune to it. Then if you have it, you're not immune to it. So what is it? And isn't the point of a vaccine to give you a little bit of the virus so you build up an immunity? Well, if this virus has no immunity, why would a vaccine protect? That is my main question. Again, I'm not a scientist, like you said. I don't know. No one at me that I'm wrong with my information, but this is what goes through my. So yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking for sure. But I have no idea. I mean, is that even a thing? Like, can they force that on you?
I I I I don't know. But what I do know is that I never thought I would be forced to stay home ever. And like you said, I mean, do I feel like they're taking our freedom away? Yeah, like a little bit, like just a bit. Um, was it a huge deal? No, as long as you tell me that I'm doing this for the greater good of mankind, like I'll be okay with it. But even around that, like there were some people that didn't believe that this was a thing, right? There's some people that believe that there's more to it. They didn't believe that, that COVID was real or like that it was as serious as it was. And there's still some people that don't. So it still caused friction in a lot of relationships. And I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure parents not understanding why their kids are taking this so seriously and they can't see their grandkids. Friends wondering why this friend is on Instagram stories with that friend when we're supposed to be isolating. There was it was happening everywhere. And, people were getting pissed off when they saw pictures of people with their parents because they were thinking to themselves, you know what, I haven't been able to see my parents and I'm suffering. How are you allowed to do it? At the end of the day, everybody's given a choice. Everybody's given a choice. And yes, maybe you're putting somebody at risk, but that's a choice that person has to make. And we can't, there was a divide at a time. And, I struggled with my parents a little bit too, because they were just in the beginning, really not getting it. And I think that it came to a point where it was oh, Najla's serious. We're not allowed to see our grandkids. This is happening. And it was yeah, because, I don't want to take it seriously, but I have no choice but to take it seriously, right? And to be honest with you, now I'm at the point where I'm well, the schools are supposed to open up Monday, so hey, mom and dad, what's going on? But if my child was going to school, she wouldn't be able to see her grandparents because we're putting them at risk. So, I'm a little more lenient than I was. And I like it and I hate it. I like it because I needed to just simmer down a little. I hate it because I don't want to open up a gateway of risk and suffer consequences from it, right? So I'm in the mood to hang out with people. And if somebody was to tell me right now, yo, I'd hang out with you right now, face to face, I'd I might be down. Honestly, I might be down, and I feel bad about it, but I think I'm tired of being scared. I'm so tired of being scared. I'm tired of being worried. And, if you tell me you haven't seen anybody in like 2, 3 weeks, I'm gonna chill with you. If you tell me you've been working and like you've been seeing clients all day, I'm gonna be like, listen, like I still need some time, but I'm done. Like I really am done, and I just feel that way. I feel like all the sadness and everything, it drained me. The panic drained me, and now I have nothing negative left to give. So it's like if you're gonna approach me and you're gonna hug me, I'm probably gonna hug you back. Like I and I was mad at people in the beginning. I
Yeah.
was mad at people in the beginning.
I came online and I was like, stay the fuck home. Like, you guys need to all stay home. But the thing is that maybe I'm so naive. Maybe I am so naive. I genuinely believed, like, 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks and we're done. You have to say hi to your sister, Najla. You have to. Say hi to
I
your
have to
sister.
what?
You have to say hi to your sister.
Hey sis. All I see is about my brows. My brows by Amanda.
Yeah, I honest to God believed 2 weeks and we were done. We were out of this. And I was like, if people would just listen, we'd be over this shit in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, you were so dumb, you know? But
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't know. I don't know where my comfort level will be right now. I'm like, what if we just all hung out in the backyard? Is it bad just to hang out in the backyard? Like, I don't know. I don't know how I'll feel. But summer's coming. People are going to be out. They just opened up the parks. I mean, not the actual play structures, but now you can actually go into a field and have a picnic. So that's a plus. I don't know.
My pool's going to be open real soon, and I'm not going to lie, the hedges in my backyard are very tall. So I may invite anybody who's willing to come chill because I'm pretty sure chlorine kills bacteria. I'm going to double up on the chlorine. I'm going to I you know, I'm over it. And you know what? Come September, if there's a possibility of a new wave and we're already, think about this, we're already back into work, back into school, and then there's a new wave, the outbreak may be worse than it was.
Yeah.
I felt like this time it was gradual, and I felt like, listen, I don't talk about politics and I don't talk about religion because whatever, but I think that I think that Trudeau has like big, like, kudos to him for being able to stay calm. I can't stand his voice anymore. He's repeating the same thing for 8. I just cannot. Like, love the guy. He's real great and everything, but I just can't handle it. But, I do feel like maybe if we had taken this, like, I guess maybe we never thought something like this could happen. So we didn't close the airports right away. Flights were still coming in from China. Like, no offense to the Chinese that need to get back home, but I came back from Bahamas at the end of January, beginning of February, and at the Toronto airport, there was like 3 flights from China with people with masks, and we were filling out questionnaires and asking us if we just got back from Wuhan or if we had been in Wuhan the last 14 days. And the airport was packed, no masks, no sanitizer, nothing. What, February 1st? We shut down March 14th. That's a month and a half later. Do you know how much happens in a month and a half? Like, all of these people coming back, and I just feel like maybe if this does happen again, God forbid, maybe this time you'll take it seriously, and then maybe next time it's 2 weeks, right? Maybe next time it is 2 weeks that we stay home and we flatten the line or whatever it's called, and then things can kind of gradually go back. But I just feel like, and it's not, obviously it's not my call, not my business. I don't know how to run, a country, but I feel like maybe something could have happened in between. I feel like somebody dropped the ball somewhere. I feel like we were a little too lenient. There were other countries and places that just, boom, shut down, no flights, no nothing. It puts some people in tough situations, yeah, but I mean, we're in a tough situation now with the, increase of, mental illness, the increase of suicide, the increase of abuse, and everything that we're going through now. There's much more than COVID, like COVID is a thing on its own. COVID is a severe flu that attacks mainly old people. Fear, anxiety, and depression attacks everybody. So I'm a little bit like on the fence about like trying to weigh it out right now. So I don't even know where the hell I was going with this. But anyways, September is gonna come and we'll see. I want to enjoy the summer though.
Well, you know what I'm thinking of is like travel, for instance. Like, this is the pandemic. We're thinking about our world, our little Canada bubble. But then you have to think of how many countries stopped flights to places like Cuba, to places like the Dominican, to all these countries that thrive off of tourism and now aren't getting any. Like, how do you.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you.
You reading the.
Yeah.
What are they saying?
Like we're all gonna die anyway.
True, Ziad. But Ziad can even answer this because, like, what is going to happen to the countries that thrive off of tourism that are, like, now gone to complete shit? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They don't. You go to Cuba, they don't have food to begin with. What is going to happen to these places now? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't
My heart, like obviously my heart goes out to those people as well. But even in our own country, like are we not going to ask questions at all about where all of this money came from? Like that emergency fund was pretty hefty. So I'm actually worried about my income taxes next year because like it's coming from somewhere. There's going to be you're going to see like on your T4 there's going to be like a COVID tax. Like people are and my point is to say that people are going to suffer in so many ways. We are going to suffer together. This country is going to suffer together in so many ways other than sickness. But you know those other ways can cause sickness because there are people who have lost their businesses. Like they've lost the money that fed their family, the money that they put in like investment and everything, and it's not their fault, and then there are people that lived or continue to live within their means. So they're driving a Ferrari or they have like a $2 million house and everything is great because you're counting on that income to continue rolling because you never in your mind think that the whole world is like gonna shut down and things are just gonna go kaput kind of thing. Your business is closed for 2-3 months. That could be detrimental to your business. That could mean a lot. That could mean no more business. And then what? So it's terrible. And again, see, I'm thinking about it now because we're talking. I try not to think about it, and not because it's selfish of me, but not because I don't care, but because I care too much. And I start caring too much, and then I start having trouble sleeping, and I start worrying about, my friends that have businesses that they are suffering. And I think about them every day, and I'm like, what? I wish there was something that I can do. And there is something that I can do. I can promote their business. I can promote their small business. I could post it in my stories. We can do that for each other. We can support each other in those ways. And then, but it's like, even if I think of like, oh, Tara, she's been doing hair for so long, she probably misses it, she probably made good money doing it. I'm like, it's too bad that she can't have that back. And then there's people with e-commerce businesses or retail stores. What can you do about a retail store? Okay, the government can help you a little bit, but even after this, like we're gonna suffer the effects of COVID for a very, very long time. So,
Well, and
you
it's
know.
not just COVID. I just saw Amanda saying, "Do you think Carol Baskin put out the Hornets?" It's now the Hornets. Like, dude, I was
It was it was Carol Baskin.
that bitch, that bitch. But listen, I was like, okay, first you gotta like try to get over leaving your house, sending your kids in September to school, and then you're like, oh shit, there's not just a virus out there. There's killer hornets that are after us.
I know what?
Thanks for the
Like,
reminder.
where was I? I just heard about this today.
Oh no, my cousin sent it to me. They kill like one hornet kills up to 50 people a year or some crap. Like, this is no joke. These hornets are like here to eat us alive. What, girl?
It's how much toilet paper do we need? That's the question. How much toilet paper? Can you believe I'm getting low on toilet paper? Like everybody, okay, listen. Okay, just quick story, because you probably saw it. Listen, at the beginning of March, I got a price match at Walmart, okay? And the price match was crazy. Okay, it was toilet paper and it was regular like 18.97 and I got it for 11.97. Like that's a really big deal. So I got myself 4 packs and I got one for Lara. And so that's 5 total. And then I got one for Lara, so I gave it away. And then I got an extra one and we gave it to Kareem's grandma or his parents. So we're not selfish people, gonna keep it all to ourselves, whatever. And then I got like a little bit of backlash. Like I got like, that is so selfish. Like not a lot, because honestly, my Facebook people, like they always have my back. They were like, it was one person who came out, but if one person was thinking it, maybe somebody else was. But they were like, leave some for other people. That's so rude. Blah, blah, blah. What is toilet paper for? Why are you hogging it all? And I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. First of all, I got 5. I'm giving some away and I kept a little bit. But let me tell you something. What month are we in? Only like 8 weeks has gone by. 3 packs of toilet paper. Where has the toilet paper gone? So for everybody who was saying like, what do you need toilet paper for? This, like, just living, just living. Like, I was so surprised that people were focused on that. They were like, panic is setting in. And listen, like, also, I wasn't mad about it 2 weeks later when everybody was out of toilet paper. And you know what? Somebody had posted, 2 people posted on Facebook, they were out of toilet paper. I offered them my toilet paper. So calm down, people. Okay, calm down. Ash, you're disgusting.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, you can't tell me that there's, the deadly virus, hornets outside, and not expect me to shit my pants. So I fully understand the concept of why people needed toilet paper. Najla, you have 2 minutes left. It's telling me counting down. What do you want to leave your guests with?
Oh my God. What do I want to leave you with? Man, just stay strong. This can't last forever. Just do what you can, and you know what? Keep supporting your friends, keep supporting their businesses, and reach out to people. Reach out to people. Like if somebody pops in your mind and you're not sure why, send them a message. There's a lot of people right now that are not okay. We should really be checking on people, even the people that seem to have it all together. Like, instead of a simple "how are you," because it's too easy to say I'm okay, how are you feeling? What are you feeling? I think that's really important right now, like super duper important.
I agree with you. Thank you so much, Najla, and thank you for everything you've been doing on your end. I think it's honestly, I think it's beautiful and inspiring. And keep
Thank
up
you.
the good work, girl. I'm loving
Thank you. Thanks
it.
for having me.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Guys, really quick, that was awesome. Check out her page, Ottawa Glam Girl. I am going to see you guys tomorrow night. I'll be chatting with Maroon. He's coming back to tell us about his CBD brand and what he's been doing with it, and to talk about what it was like having a new baby during this fiasco. Take care. Have a good night. See you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Oh, shit.